Good morning, friends, followers and channel members. Happy Thursday. Hope you're all suitably refreshed after yesterday evening's stream where we came in here to London Stansted on the back of what was some absolutely fantastic air traffic control on VATSIM. If you didn't catch that stream, do go and check that out after this one. It was brilliant. Love good VATSIM ATC when the network's nice and busy. Today we are off to Genoa, an airport which I've not featured before on stream, and an airport which brings several challenges, not least the fact that there's a little bit of a tailwind at the moment, so we may have to do some landing calculations to make sure we're well within limits. If we can't get in on the ILS there, then we may have to look at doing the circle to land, something again we've not done live on stream before. So lots to think about today as well, and so much terrain coming into Genoa. It's also an offset localizer, so there's quite a few caveats to look forward to on this morning's flight. So welcome on board, everybody. Already getting ourselves settled in on the chat this morning. So good morning, Samuel, Jez Oracle, Paul Newman. Good morning to you. It's a gorgeous livery, isn't it? Thanks to channel member Christian for sorting that for us. Our special Easter livery, which we have at this time of year. Mark, good morning. Spitfire, Raf, Jen Zanson, how are you today? Subin Joseph, we're not on any multiplayer server. This is just the VATSIM server. Christian Starmer, good morning to you. Horatio, hello. Helm, how are you? Arthur, good to see you as well. Roy Keller and Tony Simpson in the chat as well. Apologies if I did miss anybody. Look at the slope in the taxiway just here. That poor baggage handler. He had a whale of a time getting his truck into position for loading our cargo. The operational flight plan then is in the chat. Our flight time today should be around 1 hour 45 minutes, something along those lines. Our aircraft is cold and dark. It is the first flight of the day, and if you guys didn't get to see this scenery before, this is freeware scenery from flightsim.to, but again, it's one of those freeware sceneries that could quite easily and happily be payware. It's stunning. Look at this, really good stuff. And somewhere, if you keep your eyes peeled, we've got things like trains running. Is that a train over there? Oh no, that's just a baggage handler. Oh, there is a train just running there in the background that hopefully you saw. So it's got all of those little things, really nice to see, but it's nowhere near as frame rate intensive as the London Gatwick scenery. But I highly recommend going and grabbing this. It's wonderful. Thankfully we've got nice weather here as well this morning, so let's go ahead and get on board. So as I said, the aircraft is cold and dark this morning for our first flight of the day. So we're going to go ahead and get everything set up. Before we do, let's just check everything's in the correct position down here. Nothing out of the ordinary. That's good. I've already been through and checked it prior to the stream starting, so we should be okay. Let's go ahead and get the batteries on.
Check Stu Bravo radio check.
So there's the CRV. Nav and logo lights. APU fire test. Engine number 1 and 2. All's fine. We'll leave the fuel pumps off for the moment. We'll also turn the packs off as well till we get that APU up and running. So I was using the drone camera outside LSO92. That's how we kind of walked around there. Mr. Dino, as soon as you saw Genoa, you rushed to the PC. Yeah, it's going to be a nice approach. That's for sure. Need to do some good planning in advance. So with that approach, then let's have a look at what fuel we're going to take on board this morning. We have got nice conditions today. Really nice conditions. for the flight down there. Flight level 390, a little bit of a tailwind. 59.9 is our zero fuel weight. Shouldn't be too much turbulence. 690 miles, just under 6 tons. And as we come down here, we'll start to see our minimum off route will start to increase as we head over the Alps into Switzerland. There it is. So around about an hour into the flight, we just need to really start be mindful of the terrain beneath us. Only for about 10-15 minutes or so, just in case anything happened decompression wise during that period. Looking at the weather today, you can see we have got gorgeous weather coming in, but just look at that tailwind. We've got a tailwind component of 8, that's okay, and a crosswind component of 10. So we've got a tailwind and a crosswind to contend with at the moment, coming into Genoa. So that's going to be good fun. And if we have a look at the forecast, it should say that those winds will move around a little bit more northerly, but that tailwind could increase a little bit more. Thankfully, it's not a direct tailwind, of course. Maximum tailwind we can do in the A320 is 15 knots, so we're still going to be within limits, but we'll keep an eye on that as we go through. Let's just continue down here and see what we've got in terms of the SIGMET. So there's our flight route today. Should have some gorgeous views over mainland Europe. We've got the chance of a little bit of turbulence through this sector here. That's up to flight level 360. Our planned cruise is 390, so we should be happily above all that. So fuel on board today, because of the potentials of it not being quite as straightforward as normal, I'm going to take 6.5 tons of fuel. So we'll go and get the refueling truck told that's what we want, and pop that into real time. Okay, refueling is underway. Now, I haven't got my McDo server working for some reason, so let me just go into, is it sim options? I think if we turn that off and then turn that back on again, it, there we go, it kind of resets the connection and it all works. There we are. Finished Sim Pilot, good morning to you, hope you're well. Right, so that's all working. Do we have any ATC here? Yes, we've got ground control on 121725, and that means we've also got an ATIS. So let's go ahead and just
Type on first
have a listen.
contact. Stansted Information Whiskey. Time 0820 Zulu. Runway in use 22. Transition level, flight level 70, surface, wind calm, visibility 10 kilometers or more, no cloud detected, temperature +13, dew point +10, QNH 1022, ground is open. Departing aircraft make initial contact on frequency 121.725. Acknowledge receipt of information whiskey and advise aircraft type on.
Okay, turn that off. We've got everything we need to know then. So QNH is 1022. Do you know what? I'm going to cheat just a little bit, and I do love this function. We can now just set the preset for the lights. There we go. That's all done. So 1022 anti-skid is on. I'll come down, check the pedestal, switching panel, audio control panel. I'm going to go ahead and get the ground frequency on standby, which is 121725. There we go. And let's set the squawk as well, 2000. Initial climb out today is 4,000 feet. I'll go through that in the brief later. Flight directors are on, and the QNH 1022 here on the FCU. Constraints are on. Happy with all that. Okay, let's go and get the APU started. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Good morning, Wayne. good to see you. Hope you're well. Tana898, good morning on Twitch. Thanks for following. We are on Twitch as well as Facebook, as YouTube this morning. Alright, so I'm just going to wait for that PU to get fired up, then we'll start getting some passengers on board. Let's go to our init press page here and get our information from SimBrief. 1 hour 42 minutes the flight time today. Let's do our check. So we've got our 3 nav greens, aircraft status, LEAP engines correct, valid AirX cycle, okay, ACARS uplink for our flight route. So let's go ahead and fill out the box. If I just move the camera angle here so I can drag this over, you can see what we're entering. Beautiful sunshine this morning. Right, let's get the alternate in. Lima, India, Mike Fox. This isn't a real world flight as well, this guy, so we're on our default call sign of Easy34 Alpha Mike. I do think Genoa is served by Easyjet, but perhaps more in the summer months than at the moment. Cost index fate, flight level 390, that temperature is minus 56, and the tropo, not a million miles off there to be fair, but let's just update that. So the tropo is 35046. Let's have a look at the flight plan. So we're expecting departure runway 22 as per the ATIS. Clacton 2 Echo for us this morning. Let's get that inserted. Average Plane Enjoyer on Twitch, love that name. Thanks for the follow. And let me just check out the charts, make sure that everything in the box is as it should be. So we've got 0, 1, 0, 3, 0, 6 and 11, and we've got those constraints as well. Now what's really nice with the VNAV is because those constraints are accurate, we could actually, well no, we're going to leave 4,000 feet set, but then if we get cleared to a higher altitude per the SID, then we could set a higher altitude and leave it in managed climb. If we get cleared to a higher altitude, regardless of the SID, and we're just free to climb, then we'll need to pull open climb. Otherwise, it will respect these constraints all the way through to the end. Lovely. That takes us all the way then to Clacton. Let me pop in the arrival then. So our arrival information is the VOG 1 November on runway 28. Pony Signigo, thank you so much for the sub. Really do appreciate that and the support. Hope you're going to have a nice flight with us today as well, Pony. Now, interesting point here with the ILS. There are 2 options for the ILS. One is via ATC. Well, actually, there's 3 options. We can fly the procedure which brings us into Gikuk, and we then do a DME arc approach in. Or the other procedure, which is only usually allowed with air traffic control, is to come in to the waypoint Tiglo, and then Tiglo brings us in all the way down to 14 miles from Golf Sierra Echo, which is just here on the ILS. What is really interesting is we're going to have to be configured quite early for this, but I'll talk about this a little bit more in the flight, because we've got a lot of altitude to lose once we get past the terrain here. So the option that is taken most option from what I can tell is this Tiglo approach, so that's the one I'm going to go with. So we're going to go and put in the VOG 1 November arrival and then Tiglo if that's available to us. So VOG 1 November for the ILS. Oh, hang on, which ILS approach was that? Not the DME ARC one, although it is the Zulu. There we go. So ILS 28 Zulu. Need to get those passengers on board in a minute. VOG 1 November and Tiglo. I love the SimBrief data in this. not the sim brief, sorry, the Navigraph data of this. It means it all works. 703 miles then, and we've got 690 on the flight plan. That makes sense just because we've taken a slightly extended route to make it a bit easier to get in on that ILS. Lovely. I'm just going to go through, check with no discontinuities on that departure. No, not at all, and we'll check the rest as well en route to make sure the box is coded correctly for our approach once we're airborne. Now, let's have a look at the RadNav page. I'm going to put the Barkway VOR on here. We're going to use that as our engine out procedure if required. Let's just go ahead and get our passengers on board. The APU should be up and running now, so we'll get the APU bleed on. We'll give that a minute and then we can turn those on. Pony, did the A320NX get an update? It's been updated all of the time, really. So always worth downloading the latest one. Or I normally tend to wait. I tend to download it, and then if it's working, I tend to just give it a couple of days because I'm usually on the experimental version. So that is prone to things breaking. Not very often, it has to be said, but better safe than sorry. Onto our init B page. So, bring the flight plan back up. We have got 0 fuel weight of 59.9 and standard C of G, trip wind of 12, fuel planning is 5.3, and what did we take? 6.5 tons. That gives a takeoff weight then of 66.2. Just wait for the rest of those numbers to compute, and then add in the fuel for the alternate. Let's call that 1.1 tons for our alternate today. An extra 23 minutes then of flight time for holds and delays. Wonderful. Jeff, I'm on the fly-by-wire experimental version. Great stuff. So we'll look at doing our performance page then in a moment. We'll get SimSmart set up. Passengers can start coming on board now. That APU bleed has been running for longer than a minute, so get pack 1 and 2 on. And we'll get self-loading cargo fired up. Okay, so SimSmart, let's do that. Sandwich 104, great call sign. No, this will be the only stream today, I'm afraid. But seriously, if you didn't see the stream from last night, go back and check that out. It was great fun. So where are we? We are in Stansted. So if you're not yet aware, SimSmart, the A320neo performance calculator, is now released and available from simsmart.uk. It is payware, £4.75, so obviously not very much, but just adds a lot more realism to your Airbus A320neo departures. So we've got full length runway, get that METAR. There's a problem with the automatic METAR this morning, so that's okay. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Actually, it's not the old-fashioned way at all. It's the realistic way, because the real Airbus performance calculator, FlySmart's the real one, SimSmart's the simulated one. FlySmart, you have to enter it manually anyway. So what's that wind? Wind is 280 at 3. Outside air temperature is 13. QNH is 1022. Oops. Let's try again. 1022. Runway condition dry. Anti-ice will be off. Takeoff weight is 66.2. We'll call that 66.4 just to be conservative. CFG is forward in the A32NX at the moment. And our takeoff thrust will be set to flex. Config 1. And packs will be off for our departure. So let's go ahead and calculate all that. We're using full length as well today. doesn't make sense to use any of the intersections for our departure this morning. Okay, let's go ahead and pop all that in. So we've got config 1, flex 69. Transition altitude is 6,000 feet here, and the V speed's 145, 145, and 146. Thrust reduction acceleration values is 1348. We've not got the real values in SimSmart yet. Engine out acceleration is also 1348. And if anyone's wondering why FS and clean speeds are changing, it's just because the aircraft weights of the passengers are currently being loaded, so that's why they're increasing at the moment. Good, that's all set. So whilst we're waiting for those packs to get on, we can get rid of that. Let's do our briefing for the flight. So the weather here in Stansted, as we've just seen, nice clear skies, light winds. So no concerns with the weather. Our takeoff weight is below the maximum landing weight, so if we've got a problem we can turn around and head straight back here without worrying about that. Aircraft is the A320 Neo experimental version. No NOTAMs to concern us. And threats then, well, believe it or not, there is one that really jumps to my mind, and that is, if we have a look at the departure, whilst minimum safe altitude really is fine, okay, we've got this little segment, 2,100, then for the majority it's 1,700, that's not too much of a concern to me. What is more of a concern is that we've got speed restrictions, as we can see in the chart. I'm going to put those in a moment. So we've got speed restrictions, as we can see in the chart just here, and we've got quite a low initial climb out of 4,000 feet. So because we're going to be holding quite a low speed, we're going to reach that climb altitude very, very quickly. So just something to be mindful of. Let's talk about then how we're going to do the push. So we're going to push back facing northwest from stand 24 presumably, and then ATC will give us taxi out on Bravo, and then most likely holding short at Romeo. Whether it's Romeo or Sierra, our takeoff performance is valid because it's still full length. On that departure then, as we just mentioned, our initial climb out is 4,000 feet, and we've got these speed restrictions through the first 3 waypoints. So let's just go ahead and see what those speeds are. So 210, yeah, so we're going to fly the first 3 waypoints at S speed, which is 195. Let's go ahead and pre-program that then. So pre-select 195, and that's done. Great stuff. Engine out procedure then. Let's just talk about failures. If we have any problems on the ground, ATC is online. So I'll stop the aircraft to tell ATC that we've got an issue. Hopefully we can fix it there, and then if not, we'll have to request ATC guidance back to the gate. On departure then, any problems or warnings before 100 knots, then I'll consider stopping. After 100 knots and up to V1, I'll only stop for uninhibited ECAM warnings or cautions, engine fires or failures, or that's with or without thrust loss, or if I just think the aircraft's unsafe to fly. If I am going to stop, then we'll call out stop, go max reverse, keep the aircraft nice and straight on the runway, and use maximum manual braking if I don't think the auto brake is doing its job. If we've had a fire warning, then I'll also attempt to point the aircraft into the wind. Once we come to a complete stop, we'll stow the reversers, set the parking brakes, then just sit in our hands for a couple of seconds and make sure we know why we've stopped. Once we've established the cause of the failure, we can either complete any ECAM tasks and ask ATC to help us vacate the runway. Obviously, if it was something more serious like an engine fire, then we'd have to consider running the evacuation checklist. Failure after V1, we'll get the aircraft up into the air. If it's an engine failure, I'll fly using the standard technique, 12.5 degree pitch, and following SRS, using rudder to counteract any yaw. Once the aircraft has a positive rate of climb, we'll get that gear up, trim out the yaw, and when we're nicely trimmed, I can engage the autopilot. We're doing flex takeoff today, so Toga would be available if that was the case. We might also need to pull the heading bug early, as this is a nice standard departure. We don't want to remain on the SID. Instead, we actually want to go in the opposite direction. So if we are doing the engine out procedure, we're going to pull the heading bug, and then our engine out procedure is, once we are at 1900 feet, we're going to make a right turn to the Bravo Kilo Yankee VOR. Entry track for that is 070, and that holding pattern is right turns. Once we've got to our holding point, we'll know, we'll work out what we're going to do. Okay, so I've got another 30 passengers or so just waiting to come on board. Just to help us with that engine out procedure, we can also pop that information to the fixes page. So the Bravo Kilo Yankee VOR is our engine out holding point, and that inbound track is 250, so pop the reciprocal of that in. It's that radial. That should now be shown on there. There it is. So just waiting for those last few passengers to come on board. Whilst doing that, we can clean up the overhead. Refueling's completed, so we'll get the fuel pumps on. External power can go, and pop the seatbelt signs on. Okay, let's run the before start checklist in a moment. Just going to check that our fuel is all nicely balanced. Cabin pressure's good, and hydraulics all in the green. Fantastic. Okay, let's run the before start checklist to the line. So cockpit preparation is complete, our signs are on and auto, adheres 3.5 green, fuel quantity is 6,500 kilograms balanced, the FMGS is set and altimeter is 1022. Whilst waiting for those passengers then, let's contact ground. Stansted ground, good morning, Easy 34 Alpha Mike, stand 24 Type A320 Neo requesting IFR clearance as filed to Genoa, and we have information whiskey.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, Stansted ground, good morning, standby number 2 for clearance.
Wilco. Matt plays, have I ever had to abort takeoff? Only when playing in the sim. Never on a live stream have we done one. Waldo, why does the flight pad look different to yours? You can just change the setting of it. I quite like this bright one in the daytime. So on the flight pad settings, you can either have it blue, you can have it dark, you can have it light. I just think the light one is neat. So we're just waiting for our clearance. And Kino, good vibes only. Thank you for subscribing on YouTube, and Exact2, thank you for following on Twitch. Dr. Magic, good morning. You've just landed in Hong Kong. Fantastic.
Tango 1 ready to copy clearance.
Go ahead, Tango 1.
Tango 1, you are clear to Brussels, Clacton 2 Echo departure, squawking 7507.
He's going the same way as us. Different airport though. I'm expecting the Clacton 2 Echo departure as well.
Clacton 2 Echo departure 7507 for the squawk, and we're ready for taxi runway 22, Kango 1.
Rainy, I only have one preset, and that's basically turned up to near maximum.
Tango 1, Roger. Taxi to holding point Quebec 1, runway 22, via Juliet, Link November, Hotel, and Quebec.
Now he's just told him to take the intersection departure.
To via Quebec 1, Juliet, Link November, Quebec, Kango 1.
Stansted ground E62 Bravo stand 23 with 8 and senior requesting for clearance to Genoa with information whiskey.
Easy 62 Bravo, Stansted ground, good morning. Standby, number 2 for clearance.
Welcome.
So, anticipating the same departure.
Ryanair 14 Lima Mike, ready to copy clearance.
Let's go and update that. So flex of 66 and lower V speeds 137, 137 and 139.
Ryanair 14 Lima Mike, stands to ground.
Ryanair 4 Lima Mike, go ahead.
Hi Gavin, all the passengers are on board and we're ready to go.
Ryanair 4 Lima Mike.
After we've taken off.
Ryanair 14 Lima Mike, you are cleared to Manchester. Utava 1 Romeo departure, squawk 2245.
Utava 1 Romeo departure, squawk 2245. Ryanair 14
Barry,
Lima.
you think Brussels is the better airport? Yeah, you're not
14 Lima Mike,
biased
correct information, X-ray
in the
current,
slightest.
QNH 1022, report when ready for push.
Baby, can I suggest a takeoff performance calculator? I can only really suggest SimSmart because it's the most accurate one available at the moment. Nazar, thank you.
Easy 62 Bravo, ready to copy clearance.
You like the stream so much, thank you. I'm so calm. Let's see if I'm still calm.
Easy 62 Bravo, you are cleared to Genoa.
When we're coming into Genoa.
Departure, squawking 7636.
747 on Microsoft Flight Simulator does not generate random failures.
Standby.
Well, I'm not sure actually. I think there's an option to turn them on. How well they are manipulated,
Say the
I'm not sure.
departure again.
Yep, it's the Clapton 2 Echo departure. Charlie Lima November 2 Echo.
Charlie
Come on, I thought we
Lima
were second
Echo
for departure clearance.
Squawk 7636. E62 Bravo.
Easy 62 Bravo, read back correct. Information X-ray is current. QNH 1022. Report when ready for push.
Welcome.
I don't want to give him a nudge, but we'll see. We'll call it. It costs £4.75. Ground easy 34 Alpha Mike. Waiting departure clearance.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, stands to ground. Good morning. Can you confirm your aircraft type, stand number, and destination, please?
Aircraft type A320 Neo, stand 24, destination Genoa. We have information whiskey, easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, thank you. You are cleared to Genoa. Clapton 2 Echo departure, squawking 1410.
Cleared by the Clacton 2 Echo, squawk 1410, easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, read back correct. Information X-ray now current. QNH 1022. Report when ready for push.
Information X-ray and we'll report ready, easy 34 Alpha Mike. Did we not give him all that information already? Oh well, never mind. 4,000, all's good. Now, do we have a departure frequency? We may get told to hand over to 1326, though I'm not sure about that. But if we do, I'm going to just pop that in the standby.
Tango 1 at Quebec 1. Contact London Control 132.6. Have a safe flight. Bye-bye.
132.6, we'll catch you later, Kango 1.
Okay, let's get the ground crew.
Fine. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Hooroo.
Stansted ground, good morning. Easy 162, MSA 320 Neo at stand 31 with information X-ray, requesting clearance to Genoa.
Pony, yeah,
Easy 162.
that is
ground.
the toolbar pushback.
In front of us, so we should be pushing back within the next few minutes or so. For now, the ground crew have now finished loading the last of the baggage into the aircraft, so if you could get yourself seated and secured, then we can make sure we can depart on time.
Easy 162, sorry about that. You are cleared to Genoa, Clapton 2 Echo departure, squawking 7016.
Clear to Genoa by Clacton 2 Echo, squawk 7016, Easy 162.
Easy 162, read back correct, report when ready for push.
And we'll give you an update once we're airborne.
Right, ground crew room to position. Let's tell them we're ready to go. Easy 34 Alpha Mike is ready for push and start, stand 24.
Please release parking brake.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, confirm squawking please.
Confirm squawk 1410. Had the wrong one in there, didn't we?
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, thank you very much. Just be advised there is a Ryanair 737 on 24 right, very close to you. But as long as you're clear, stand 24, push and start as approved.
Is there? Roger, we'll make sure we avoid the Ryanair. Easy 34 Alpha Mike, pushing back, stand 24.
Ryanair 140 on Mike, we are ready for push and start.
Oh, good lord. So I see.
For pushback before the Easyjet to avoid collision.
Yeah, I don't think we can get... Yeah, an easy 34 Alpha Mike, we can't push. The Ryanair is in our way.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, Roger, just hold position for now. Ryanair 14 Lima Mike, stand 24 right, push and start as approved, please.
Pushback and set approved, Ryanair 140 on Mike.
Please release parking.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, apologies for that. As soon as I get you free, I will call you back.
We'll go.
Ryanair 0236, ready for taxi.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Ryanair 0236, hold position.
Ryanair 0236, can you repeat?
Ryanair 0236, can you hold position? There's a Ryanair in front of you pushing back from stand 24.
Holding position, Ryanair 0236.
Bloody Ryanairs. How dare they? And I can't have him ruining my beautiful paint job. Mr. Dino 2000, no, it is not normal to have those stands occupied at the same time. You could have the right occupied and the left occupied, but not if the centre was occupied. The idea is if it's if you've got a large aircraft on this gate. Always check VATSIM or some other product that shows you where aircraft are before spawning in on VATSIM. God bless the ground controller though. He's doing a decent job. Come on, Ryanair, do you want me to get out and push?
Easy 162, ready for push and start, stand 31.
Aerial Aviator, Mr. O'Leary is being greedy again, yeah. Oh, there he goes.
Easy 162, hold position, I will call you back for push.
Okay.
We're not being cleared the push yet, so I'm not running a before start checklist below the line until we've got all the beacon lights and things on. Visual pilot, can't I use slew mode to move to the next... No, not on VATSIM. that is not allowed. I think I'd rather have Jet 2 in my way than Ryanair. Mr. Dino 2000, I don't think different scenery was the problem here. I think it was yeah, it just needed to look on VATSIM or something like that.
Ryanair 14 Lima Mike, thank you for the expedited pushback. You are taxi to holding point Quebec 1, runway 22 via link Bravo, Hotel and Quebec.
Holding point Quebec 1 via Bravo, Hotel and Quebec, runway Ryanair 14 Lima Mike.
Ryanair 0236, taxi to holding point Romeo 1, runway 22 via link Bravo, Hotel and Romeo.
Faggy, I am just using keyboard and mouse, no VR or track eye or anything like that. Ollie, I need to make an airline tier list video. Oh, there's a discussion for the crews.
Easy 62 Bravo, roger, hold position, I'll call you back.
Local.
Ryanair 14 Lima Mike, I don't know where you're going, but that is not where I told you to go, hold position.
Oh, great.
Ryanair 14 Lima Mike, holding position.
Ryanair 14 Lima Mike, can you take the next available left-hand turn and then immediate right turn for Sierra, hold Sierra 1.
Ryanair 14 Lima Mike, turning now left, then first right, holding short Sierra 1, Lima 14 Lima Mike.
Ryanair 0236, did you acknowledge my last?
Jan 42, good morning. All these guys are hanging around thinking, oh, for God's sakes, when is he going?
Ryanair 0236, I have called you twice. Taxi to holding point Romeo 1, runway 22 via link Bravo, Hotel and Romeo.
So our takeoff performance is valid for Quebec. If we get told Romeo, that's fine.
Ryanair 0236, sorry, but I wasn't in cockpit. I was to the place. Sorry.
Ryanair 14 Lima Mike, contact London Control 132.6. Have a safe flight, bye bye.
132.6 Ryanair 14 Lima Mike, thank you.
1326 is on our standby. Excellent.
Easy 162, stand 31, push and start.
Call and the custom views are available in our Discord server if you want to go and grab those. Andrew, Easyjet taxi to Newcastle via M1, A1M and A1. Love it.
And Easy 34 Alpha Mike, after the Ryanair 737 is clear, passing from your left to right, stand 24, push and start as approved.
Once the Ryanair is cleared, passing from left to right, clear to push and start. Easy 34 Alpha Mike. Yay! Beacon light. Notable steers disconnected, acupressure's in the green, get that transponder on. Where's that Ryanair? I just need him to move before we start pushing. Before start checklist bullet line.
E60 Bravo, confirm we are also ready for start.
Windows and doors closed.
Easy 62 Bravo,
and
Roger,
armed.
I am aware, I will get you out as soon as I can. I've just got
Beacon lights on.
aircraft on your taxiway, one in
Phone's on silent, parking
Getting
brake is
you out of
set.
sequence, don't worry.
Roger, thank you.
Why is the Ryanair stopped? Has he cleared him? I thought he'd cleared him to Romeo. And I can't push back because I will dissect him. Good morning, Christian. It's the long Easter weekend. Hope you're well. We're in Stansted for more fun. We've been streaming nearly an hour, guys. We're still on the ground. Granted, the setup takes a good 30 minutes or so, but...
Stansted ground, good morning. Channel 6374, Boeing 737-800, stand at 14.
Come on.
Chanex 6374, Stansted ground. Good morning. I'm assuming you're requesting clearance?
Yes, I'm requesting clearance to Tel Aviv with information X-ray.
There he goes.
Chanex 6374. Roger, you are cleared to Tel Aviv. Clacton 2 Echo departure, squawk 7574.
Oh, he's not really moved very far.
Chanex 6374 is clear on the Clacton 2 Echo departure, squawk 7574.
There we go.
Chanex 6374, read back correct. Reporting ready for push.
Parking brakes are released. Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence. It will start in the sequence.
Alright, engine mode selected to ignition and starting engine 1.
Ryanair 0236, that's not what I instructed you to do. Can you take the next left, please, on Link Charlie and immediate right on Sierra, hold Sierra 1.
Oh dear.
Can you repeat please?
Ryanair 0236, you've taken the wrong turn, you are now on Juliet. Can you take the next left onto Charlie and right onto Sierra, hold Sierra 1.
Sorry, next to Charlie, next left Charlie.
Let's study the map.
Ryanair 0236.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest
Starting
exit
engine
will
2.
be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist.
Parking brake set.
Click together
Ground. Startup
and
is
pull the
complete.
strap
You
to
may
adjust.
disconnect.
Do not
Roger.
inflate it
Good engine
inside
start.
the
Clear to
aircraft.
disconnect. See you
When
outside.
outside,
Have a good
inflate
flight.
by pulling the toggle.
Holding position.
Ryanair 0236, at Sierra 1, contact London Control 132.6. Have a safe flight, bye-bye.
122.6, Ryanair 0236, thank you, bye-bye.
Engine 2
Stone,
stabilised.
Down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with Easyjet.
Okay, after start checklist. Anti-ice is off. VCAM status is checked. Pitch trims 24.5 and the rudder is 0. Do a quick flight control check. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, rudder, full left, and neutral. And Easy 34 Alpha Mike is ready for taxi.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, thank you, sorry about that earlier. Taxi to holding point Quebec 1, runway 22, via link Bravo, Hotel and Quebec.
Quebec 1 via link Bravo, Hotel, Quebec. Easy 34 Alpha Mike. So let's be really vigilant on this.
When ready, taxi
So
to holding point
Link
Romeo
Bravo,
1,
Hotel,
runway 22
Quebec.
via Link Bravo, Hotel and Romeo.
Easy 162, taxi 2, holding Romeo 1. via
So,
Link
PEDS
Bravo,
check,
Hotel,
no change to our
Romeo.
performance, engine out procedure is
Easy
standard.
62 Bravo after the two
1900 feet right turn to Barclay
A320
VOR.
Neos are clear, passing from your left to right. Stand 2-3, push and start as approved.
Departures collecting to Echo, and initial climb is 4,000 feet. Before takeoff, checklist to the line. Flight controls are checked. Departure briefing is confirmed. Flap setting config 1. FMA takeoff data 137 blue, 139 magenta. Climb nav blue, 1 FD2. 4,000 blue. Flex is 66. Just check we're not in anybody's way here as we go through there. Check that no one's going the wrong way. Transponder is set. Eco memo. Takeoff no blue. EFB is stowed. Are we taking off with the tailwind? I must admit, I can almost see how the guys got confused a little bit, because if they just reverted to doing what they've always done before, I have never taken off from Quebec 1. This will be the first time I've done that. So pulling out of the gate and turning right is the norm. We've obviously pulled out of the gate here, turned left, so slightly different. This looks downhill.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, just hold position at Quebec 1 for separation, please.
Wilco, Easy 34 Alpha Mike. Baker 352, the reason it's missing in SimSmart, and we've popped this on the website as well, it's missing in SimSmart because it's not there in the real calculator. You don't need to fill out that performance page. Most airlines don't fill out the THS, the Trimmable Horizontal Stabilizer. All they do is they look at the takeoff C of G and then they align. So our takeoff C of G was 24.5, so there's 20, there's 25, little guesstimate, 24.5 around here, and you line it up with that arrow there. That's all you need to do. So we're just waiting here until ATC tell us to go over to...
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, no further ATC available.
Oh.
Take off at your discretion. Monitor Unicorn 122.8. Have a safe flight. Bye bye.
Over to Unicom. Thanks for the great service, Easy 3 for Alpha Mike. Bye bye.
Have a good one. See you again. Bye bye.
Right, Unicom all the way. I hope not, but...
Easy 62 Bravo, say again.
Easy 62 Bravo, ready to taxi.
Easy 62.
Right, let me zoom in. I'm going to get TCAS on here just to help me a little bit, see if we can see anything. I think traffic is okay. Our approach path looks clear. So, Stansted traffic, Easy 3 for Alpha Mike, lining up runway 22 at Quebec 1. Before takeoff, checklist below the line. Cabin is secured. Engine mode selector is normal. TCAS, TARA, packs off, anti-ice off. There is a Ryanair UK. You don't see that too often on VATSIM. Quite newish though, aren't they? Okay, so happy to go. Takeoff. Start the chrono. 50% M1. Engine stable. Set takeoff thrust. Man flex. SRS. Lovely long runway here at Stansted. Checked.
Yeah, it was Kevin.
V1. Rotate. Nav. Autopilot 1 engaged.
Easyjet pilot in disguise.
I'm not in disguise. Climb as we should be pushing transition altitude here. Why is that not told us to set climb thrust? We will set climb thrust. That was interesting. No ATC around, so let's go ahead and set a open climb to, let's go flight level 200. So open climb, flight level 200. And we're flying this first couple of turns at S speed, remember, so we'll keep the flaps out for the moment. Lots of traffic on the ground at Stansted. You can see that with the strobe lights flashing. Once we've passed Echo 6, then we can accelerate away. Bloody packs. Passengers don't need to breathe. Tell you why we forgot the packs, because we didn't get the alert to set climb thrust. There we go. Now we can select manage speed and start to accelerate away. Passing S speed, flap 0, disarm the spoilers. Release the cabin crew. Decent length flight today, so I'm sure you'll all want drinks at some point. Barrick, if the A380's out, would I fly? Oh yes, definitely. Lovely day over southern England. Shame ATC went offline, but never mind. Brussels Control West is online, so we may enter their airspace a little bit later on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
Okay, so passing 10,000 feet, we've got airports on the EFIS. We've already got the lights turned off. We'll go in and clear out the RadNav page. Clear that fixes page as well. There we go. Looking at that flight plan, that looks interesting. It's because we're in open climb, we're basically busting all the constraints on our standard instrument departure, which is why these are all amber. Wilson Man, good morning to you. FlyByWire pilot, what is baro? Do you mean on the approach page? That is the minimums using the barometric altitude used for Cat 1 visual approaches, not auto lands.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign has now been turned on. You are now free to move around the cabin and the toilets are now available. However, when in your seat, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
So the flight time was, what was it, 1 hour 42 minutes, I think? Good length flight. Nice length stream as well for a Thursday morning. Keep you company this morning if you're just getting home from work, if you're climbing into bed, if you're just waking up, or if you're at work and need something to keep you company on in the background. A nice flight to Genoa with an interesting landing coming up. Barry is Eric on Brussels controlling. Excellent. Hopefully we'll get to give him a call a little bit later on. Graham, good day from down under. Yeah, so what is it? That's a long weekend started for you, Graham, has it? You got a nice holiday lined up now? We've still got another full day of work to do here in the UK. He says, flying a flight simulator. Vic Rizzo, thank you so much for subscribing. See the Thames estuary, or the start of it, down there. Mick G, good morning, it's 7:48 PM. I know when we do these morning flights, which we tend to do sometimes quite a bit on a Thursday, great time for the Aussies getting home. Right, we've got no further ATC and flight level 390 is available to us, so let's go ahead, set that, we'll pop that into open climb, thrust climb, open climb 390. Ollie, you're just revising your streams on one monitor, textbook, and that on the other. Feeling ultra productive today. Graham, and you've got 4 days next week for a full week of flight simming. That's great. Well, I'm away next week, which is why we're doing quite a few streams this week, because well, there'll be no lives next week, unfortunately. What gorgeous weather over the UK today. Adnaz, thank you for subscribing. Colin Evans, good morning to you. I think the weather should be pretty good for the entire flight, so if we've got views like this to enjoy for the next hour and a half, then that's going to be something nice, isn't it? That'll be really neat, really good. Christian, Tromsø Airport soon from Orbex. Where's that? My geography is shocking. I mean, I think we're flying over the Atlantic now, right? Say goodbye to the UK. That's a strange little deviation, that, isn't it? Should we just go direct Conan? I hear a direct coming up. I can't see any traffic in front of us too close, so... Easy 3-4 Alpha Mike, fly direct Conan. Yeah, absolutely okay, thank you. Is it in Norway? Fair enough. It is. Good evening from Perth. Sandwich Wonderful, what time is the landing? Hard to say. I would say around 11:30 Zulu time. So in about an hour and a half, something like that. And Roy Keller, smooth flight over the Alps right now, Manchester to Dubrovnik. That is one of my favourite flights that I used to do in FSX because we had Orbex scenery as well for Dubrovnik. In fact, I used to do Stansted to Dubrovnik quite a lot. A guy I knew was on that route quite a bit. And yeah, that was and Dubrovnik was always a nice airport to get into. Required a little bit of thinking at times, depending on which runway was in use. Hey Gandhi, good morning. Ollie, is it possible to fly low altitude airways in a jet? Could be fun, could be expensive. Sanjay HP, hello from Auckland, New Zealand. I think you are probably the furthest person away from me on the stream right now. What fuel did we take? We took 6.5, didn't we? I just looked at the fuel on board there, saw 5.5. I know we'd taken something and a half, and because that was dead on 5.5, I was thinking, are we burning any fuel? Are we running on hydrogen? There will come a time in the future, perhaps, where that's true. Calvin, hello from England. Same place as us, Calvin. Colin, has there been an update on the FlyByWire installer? You've had problems all week. Started the sim, had the old style flight plan, and all the livery's gone. I'm not so sure. Sanjesh, it's 5 to 10 PM where you are. Excellent. Ethan Tan, good morning. Yeah, we did take 6.5 tons, didn't we? I have got it written down in front of me, so it wasn't a major disaster for too long. It just caught my eye, and I thought, oh, really? Are we burning fuel? Hey, Gandhi, you didn't manage to catch the later half of the stream last night? No, we didn't get the return leg in, no, sadly not. It was just a little late for us. We got held up in Edinburgh, so we couldn't get that done. So I'm just looking, when do we come under Brussels control? That might be at Conan, I think. Yeah, we come under Brussels control at Conan. So Brussels control frequency is 131 decimal. What was it 131 decimal 1? Now, Brussels control has normally shouted us for being at the wrong altitude, and that's because of a Microsoft Flight Simulation issue. We can also use the ACARS service as well, once we've spoken to them.
Runway 9923, leaving controlled airspace, monitor Unicom, bye-bye.
Monitor Unicom, gravity 99923. Thank you, bye-bye.
UPS 220, leaving controlled airspace, monitor Unicom, have a nice landing.
Yeah, monitoring Unicom on 122.8, UPS 22.
Nice to hear a UPS on frequency.
Bye-bye.
Process control, good morning, Easy 34 Alpha Mike, inbound Conan, passing flight level 310 for 390 if possible.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, hello sir, I'm just closing up, so monitor Unicom,
Yeah.
please.
No problem, speak to you again soon. Easy 34 Alpha Mike, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Ah, that's a shame. Back to Unicom. So for those of you that may not have seen our Easter livery, here you go. Our beautiful Easter livery from channel member Christian, which we unveiled last year. We saved it in the hangar for a year and brought it back out again. It's so orange. Howdy Hub 1234, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Gorgeous. Barry, was that Eric? Oh, it's a shame he's not sticking around for us. Never mind. Never mind. People do it voluntarily in their own time, so we can't ever expect VATSIM ATC. Horatio, you were wondering earlier, your flight plan displays differently from mine, the SimBrief flight plan. Is there a feature to do that? Okay, so my flight plan here, this one, the way it's all laid out, this is the Easyjet format on SimBrief. Make sure that over when you go onto SimBrief and you're creating your flight plan, over on the right hand side over here somewhere, you select the Easy OFP layout. Then it looks, well, it looks identical to the real world layouts that Easyjet use. Josh Trimmy, good morning. I am very well. Glad you like the livery. It is quite neat. Sanjay P, thank you so much for the sub. Hope you've got a nice weekend lined up with not too much work now over the Easter weekend. Oh, there's going to be so much chocolate in our house. I may have to buy myself a box of 48 Cadbury's cream eggs just so I don't nick the kids. Sandwich 104, hello from Spain, but you live in Norway. Was wondering if I could fly to Norway. We have done in the past, Sandwich 104, so it's, you know, there's every possibility. Numprophobic, the Ryanair UK made the wrong turn and took off on the wrong runway. Did he? There's only one runway in Stansted. Well, two directions to it, of course, but that's interesting. Roy Keller, in the pre-flight preparations, do you always enter 0 fuel weight 30 on the A320NX? You click the button and let it autofill. So it depends really at what stage the aircraft loading is. If the aircraft's fully loaded, then yeah, you can just click the button, or you can type in your 0 fuel weight, and pilots, before they've got the final load sheet, will just type in 30. That's just a standard centre of gravity, nicely balanced 30. Obviously in the real world you've got a load sheet to go off. We don't have that in the sim. Stefan, thank you for subscribing, really appreciate that. Josh, no, just for fun. I'm glad glad your granddad's brother's daughter's boyfriend is I had to read that slowly. Is now training for Emirates. I think you'll get a significant pay rise and better conditions than being with Ryanair. No problem. If I had to choose between Cardiff Airport or Bristol Airport, I don't know Cardiff. It's not a place EasyJet fly into, so I've not done it. Bristol's always fun. It can be windy and quite misty as well at times. Right, are we at cruise yet? Can't be far off. I've lost my mouse cursor again. Come back. There we go. So, what are we at? We're at flight level 364. John T1 Scotland. Oh, thank you for the sub and 2 months already. Thank you for the amazing streams. Keep it up, John T. You are so welcome. Thank you for your support. Really do appreciate that, John T. Very, very kind of you. This is interesting music. Defuse, other than London Stansted, one of the best freeware sceneries available for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Well, if your rig can handle it, London Gatwick, of course. London Gatwick is amazing freeware scenery. Just trying to think of some other good free ones. I mean, I try to, when I do live streams, I try to fly to airports with custom scenery, either payware or freeware, but I do have quite a lot of the freeware ones in, and some of them are just as good as the payware ones. Gatwick and Stansted again come to mind for that. John T. Edinburgh can be a challenge too. Used to work there with the Easy Ground crew. Yes, so obviously it's any airport that is near a big open body of water. Well, that's just gonna make mist and fog. So first thing in the mornings, last thing at night as it cools down can be indeed interesting. And of course it's Scotland, so it tends to be raining and grey. Josh says Liverpool is good scenery. Well, I've got to be careful a little bit here because Liverpool has freeware built-in scenery with Microsoft Flight Simulator since the UK update, doesn't it? So that's nice. Fletch123 watching from Australia. Currently flying from Sydney to Queenstown in Microsoft Flight Sim and watching your stream while at cruise. Fantastic. Queenstown, is that the New Zealand approach? That's good fun. You once landed at Newcastle and the weather was so bad you dropped your coffee when you landed. Interesting. Hope it wasn't still hot. 747 Dan, is there a feature where two Microsoft Flight Sim users can fly in the same aircraft? In the same aircraft, yeah, one flying as pilot in command, the other as first officer. Yes, there is. Is it called Your Controls or Shared Controls? I've not tried it myself, but yes, it is possible. Right, 500 feet to go. Mark, do the light presets work in the EFB? You tried to set some up, wouldn't let you save them. It does, but you need to have your engines running. Yes, yeah. It's called Your Controls. Pony6 on Twitch. Thanks for confirming that. And you've tried it. You recommend it. Fletch123. Yeah, Queenstown always a challenge. And Senes P, flying from Auckland to Queenstown is indeed amazing scenery. Makes the UK look boring, doesn't it? Numprobic, the coffee was hot but it fell on the floor. Well, as long as it wasn't the seat for the next guy after you. Here we come. Flight level 390. Mac Alt Star. We'll get to Alt Cruise. We'll put TCAS to below. Wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, just to let you know that we've reached our cruising altitude for today, and we are not anticipating any major delays or bad weather ahead, so we should be arriving on time as planned. The cabin crew will now start to make their way around the aircraft, so please make sure that the aisles are clear of any items you may have, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. A reminder that our Easyjet sim pilot members are able to take advantage of free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and we shall have an update for you shortly.
Right, at Bhopal then, let's check our fuel. So, go on, we'll do it properly. We'll get the flight pad back on. I do like now that you can turn the flight pad on and off, and it just saves all the details. Before it didn't used to. You used to turn it off and you'd lose everything. So how much fuel did we take extra? We took, let me see. So we took 6.5 tons extra. So that extra is 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got about 0.9 tons of extra fuel on board. So at Bhopal, we should have about 4.6 tons of fuel. What have we got? 4.8 at the moment. That's looking good. We'll probably get some en route weathers as well. Gandhi, thank you so much for your very, very kind and generous £8.99 donation, saying, appreciate you bringing us lots of stream action this week. Hope you have a great holiday next week, if that's where I'm going. I am away, so I have tried to give you lots of good streams, and perhaps slightly longer ones than normal this week, before having a week off next week. But really do appreciate that, Gandhi. That's very kind of you. So thank you so much. So in terms of our en route weathers, well, let's just first of all check and see where it is we're going to be flying over. In fact, does the flypad have a flight route on it apart from on the? Because it used to have a map, didn't it? But sadly, they had to get rid of that. There was a little bit of an issue. I obviously hope to bring that back, and I'm sure in time, when it becomes possible, they will. That seems to be the Fly-by-Wire team's way of doing things. If something's possible, they will of course endeavour to do it. So just looking at the airports we're going to be passing, let's go ahead and get a weather request for some en route weathers. Of course, one of the first ones I want to get is our actual destination, which is Lima India Mike Juliet. We need to keep an eye on that tailwind today. We'll also have a look at Brussels, which isn't that far away from us. Echo Bravo Bravo Romeo. As we continue to fly southeast, we'll take a look at Frankfurt as well. Echo Delta Delta Fox. And what else should we have a look at? As we're getting further down, we can have a look at Zurich, Lima Sierra Zulu Hotel, and we can probably also have a look at Basel, which is one of our bases. So Lima Fox Sierra Bravo. Let's just quickly check that out. Okay, so I've popped in all of those, and we'll send those off. Wayne! Oh, Wayne, thank you so much for your $5 donation there, Wayne, saying, is it replacement mouse battery time again already? Happy Easter. Oh, do you remember? Where were we going? I've completely... I want to say... Where were we going? It was somewhere in Spain. Yeah, and the wireless mouse battery conked out, and I'd not got the wired mouse plugged in as backup, and we were literally on about to. We were on the downwind leg, descending down, and I couldn't control the aircraft. Where was that? Seville. It was Seville. I'm almost certain we were heading into Seville when that happened. I now have the wired mouse also plugged in for redundancy. So Wayne, thank you so much for that. Ollie, anyone got tips for starting out on VATSIM? Plan. Air traffic control shouldn't ever really give you an instruction you're not expecting. Blue 001, thank you for subscribing. Harry Smithers delivery. Well, let me just show you if you've not seen our wonderful Easter livery. There it is. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Also, I would put, if you are new to the VATSIM, pop in the remarks that you are new to VATSIM. That way the controllers know to perhaps just be a little bit slow with you sometimes in terms of their instructions. And Blue 001, good morning to you as well. Is it just me, or are there no pilots flying that aircraft? Well, that's what autopilot is for, right? So we should be on the ground in about an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. In fact, what's our flight plan say? 11:17. But I need to go ahead and program McDo up and make sure I'm all happy with how we're going to make that approach. In fact, let's just have a look and see what the approach looks like. Ah, right, okay, so let's have a look at this. So, at the moment, this is right. We need to go in and edit this because we're going to do something a little bit different. Open mic on the channel. So, we're making the... we're all going to be on the VOG1 arrival. The VOG1 arrival brings us in to Genoa, which is just here. Then from Genoa, it takes us to... where are we going after Genoa? It takes us to Varup, then 414, then from Mike Juliet 414 it takes us to Gikut, which is then when we start our approach. If we bring up... hang on, get rid of that one so we don't get them confused. There we go. So if we were coming in from Vikut, is it Vikut? Gikut. Gikut. Can't talk this morning. If we were coming in from Gikut, then we would then fly a DME arc round and in, which is what this little sector is just there. However, we are going to opt to do something which air traffic control can allow you to do. It just gets you established on the localizer a little bit sooner. And that is to come in via Tiglo. Now, bringing you in via Tiglo just means that you fly from Genoa round to Tiglo and bring yourself in on the ILS a little bit longer. It's only available via air traffic control, who can obviously give you permission for that. Air traffic control probably won't be online, so we're just going to give ourselves permission for that. So in order to do that what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, and I'm just going to double check. Actually, I think I've just deleted a chart which I do want. Let me just get that back up. Yeah, so it comes in from Tiglo just here. So we're going to go Genoa to Tiglo, which is over here somewhere, and then that takes us down to 14 miles from Golf Sierra X-Ray on the ILS. So let's go ahead and delete Varab, Mike Juliet 414, Mike Juliet 146, Gikut, and the discontinuity. So that now brings us in Genoa directly to Tiglo, and it's obviously just working out that at the moment. Just check there's no other discontinuities in there. No, there's not. So that should sort itself out a little bit later as we get closer and we start to slow down. Now the interesting thing is we need to just pop in the constraints ourselves. So at Tiglo we can't get down any lower than 5,000 feet, as you can see here. So let's go ahead and add in the Tiglo constraint of 5,000. Actually, that's not right. Go back. So at Genoa we can get down to 6,500 at Tiglo, which is okay, but we need to change that so it's not plus 6,500, it's going to be 6,500. Let's go ahead and alter that. Then I'm also going to put a speed constraint in there as well. And we're going to put a max speed in there. I want to start slowing down quite early for this because we've got quite a bit of terrain to avoid. And if we are 4,500 feet at 14 miles out, then in order to get down we're going to have at least flaps 2 out by this point. So let's put a speed constraint in there of 200 at Tiglo. And then at the next waypoint, which is here, 19 miles from Golf Sierra X-Ray. Not sure if that's in actually. No, it doesn't appear to be. Because 14 miles from Golf Sierra X-Ray is just after Varup, which we got rid of. So we can make up our own waypoint here and pop that in. So after Tiglo we want to fly to, the place is Genoa, the bearing is 139, and the distance is 14 miles. And that's based on Genoa 112.8, the VOR. And at that point I want to be 4,500 feet, 180 knots. And then from there, it looks like every other constraint is put in. Let's just check that out on the navigation display then. Oh, why is that place bearing distance not in the right place? Oh, I know why it's not in the right place. We put in the wrong waypoint. It's not based on Genoa. It's based on Golf Sierra Echo. Right, let's clear that out because that's wrong. So, let's try again. Should be Golf Sierra Echo. And Golf Sierra Echo is the ILS. So that is a track of 284, which is going to be 104, the reciprocal, and 14 miles. Pop that in instead. Clear the discontinuity. Add in the constraints. Now let's check that flight plan. So this here, on a radial of how many miles away is that? It's letter R, so it's letter R is 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18 miles on a 104 radial. 18 miles out on a 104 radial. What would that be? A 104 radial from where? Ah, there's the initial fix on the 104 radial from Golf Sierra Echo. So that's 18 miles out. That one's 14 miles out. So they actually need swapping around. Because this waypoint here should actually be this waypoint just there. So let me move place bearing distance 02, and I need to pop it in after this fix here. So let's go ahead and do that. So try again. Thank God it's a long cruise. Golf Sierra Echo. Bearing 104. Distance 14. Clear the discontinuity. So we can get down to 5,000 feet just here, which is this one. So that's wrong actually. Let's just go ahead and edit that. And now the place bearing distance wants to be 4,500 feet by here, and speed constraint 180. Okay, First Officer George needs me. I shall be back in a second. We'll see what this looks like in a moment when I get back. Okay, back with you. Let's have a look how this looks now. So the only thing that looks a little bit off at the moment is the fact that it's taken it straight from Genoa and it's missing Tiglo. Now we shouldn't need to make Tiglo an overfly point, because that shouldn't matter. It should still target Tiglo, and then it should target the waypoints as they are ordered down here. So, a little bit strange, but we'll see how that flies. If it turns out it's not going to fly it properly, then all we'll do is we'll just pull heading and we'll vector ourselves in. We've got everything on the navigation display, so we've got that to help guide us. We've got the constraints on the chart. We've got the constraints as well in the FMGC. But other than that, that looks okay. Now we just need to work out how we're going to fly it. As we are going to be flying over the Alps, it's always worth adding the DGAD waypoint in. So that's DEGAD, and this is just a fix over the Alps, letting you know when you've passed the highest point. So those radials of 225 and what's the other one? 090. There we go. If we zoom out now, we should be able to see that, and we're actually going to be flying quite, flying through one of the highest points. So anything south of this line, if we have an issue, we turn around and go back. Anything south of this line, we'll carry on. I've also got a company message with the weather. We'll check what's happening in Genoa. So at the moment wind is 013 at 15, so that's not a full tailwind, that's good. Well, let's see then. We've got the landing calculator here as well. So, we're going to be landing at Lima, India, Mike, Juliet. Wind direction is currently 030 at 15. Temperature is 22. QNH is 1017. Runway altitude is 0, I think. I'll double check this. It's not 0. That would be in the sea. 12. 12. Runway heading is 284. It's actually offset by 2 degrees. But going down the line it's going to be 284, offset slightly, it's 282 then, isn't it? Should be nice and dry when we get there. Runway slope. Oh lord, do you know what? I'm going to cheat to get the runway slope. I'm going to use the takeoff performance calculator, because this has it built in automatically. Runway slope is 0.03, downhill. Landing distance available then, let's see. So landing distance available is 2755. Decent length runway. Approach speed probably be, let's call it 130 knots, I think. Now what will our weight be? How much fuel have we got on board at the moment? Guys, I've got an issue. I can't change my view. Has my right mouse button broke? Let me get the wired mouse. Check this out. I can't use my right mouse button to pan round. 1 second. I want to know if it's a sim error or not. Ah, no. I can't move my mouse. My left mouse button is activated. My right mouse button is not. What are we doing? Why can't we change the view? Okay, guys, has anyone had this issue and managed to resolve it? Is it because we're on the fly pad? Oh, it is. Ah, Kyle, you legend. Thanks so much. Oh, goodness me. Never had that happen before. Clark, no, we use not the glide slope, we use the threshold. Lee, you've had it twice now, it's a sim issue. Well, I think the FlyByWire guys, to give them credit, so that you can type it on the keyboard when you've got it highlighted like this without it affecting anything else in the simulator. I think they disable everything in the simulator whilst this is activated. Anyway, what's our weight? So we are currently at 60, call it 64, we're currently at 64 tons. Our landing weight should be, we had 0.9 tons of extra fuel on board, so landing weight should be around 62. Let's call that 60, let's call it 63 tons. Might be a bit less than that, but better to be conservative. Flaps full, overweight no, reverse thrust no, auto land no. Calculate. Oh, we should be good then. So auto brake low will take us near to the end. I don't know what the airport is like in terms of its taxiways. So auto brake low, near to the end. Auto brake medium stops us. How far down did it just say? About 1,700 meters. Okay. Auto brake low will suffice. Turn that off now. So Clark, the glide slope length is used for the smaller aircraft. If you look as well on the chart, it says it's landing beyond the glide slope and landing beyond the threshold. So I'm sure I know a man that could explain all of that in great detail, but we use the threshold values. 45 meters wide on the runway as well, so a nice size runway. And Mark, yeah, it used to be every time you typed L, all of the lights in the aircraft switched on and off, etc. Yeah, that's right, it did. Swales, how did I find the weight of the aircraft while landing? Well, if the fuel page worked correctly, you can work it out from there. See, it says estimated fuel on board at the time of land is 2.4, so you just subtract 2.4 tons off of here. This doesn't work too accurately, I don't think, at the moment. I mean, we'll check that out, actually. Remind me when we get on the ground to check out how much fuel we've got on board and how much fuel it says here. At the moment, it says 2.5 tons. So all I've done is I've used the operational flight plan. I've looked at the landing way. I've then added to it because we took the extra fuel. So yeah, I've been rather conservative with it as well. So I'm on the A32NX experimental version. Mr. Dino, maybe have a look at the taxiways for vacating the runways. Sometimes some of them are unusable. Well, a lot also depends on the runway, on the taxiway width. So we're looking to vacate either on Charlie or Bravo to get us back in. We have got some freeware handcrafted scenery as well for this airport, which will be nice. Just having a look at the speed restrictions there. Nothing there that concerns me. We'd be doing those anyway. I'm going to be 180 knots to get us down and configured. And then 160 knots. 5 miles. Until 5 miles. The RNPA for runway 10 is very much like, a little bit like the approach into Nice. So what taxiways did I say we were going to be taking? I said we'd be taking either Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta. They're the ones we're going to be using. Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta. So we can have a quick read of that. Alpha is fine. Bravo is fine. Charlie is okay. And Delta is also okay. Lovely. And I can see the Alps coming up soon. Okay guys, I'm just going to go and grab myself a drink, and then we're going to look at doing our arrival brief, work out what we want to do where, how we're going to get in safely and navigate the terrain coming in over as we fly over that, and then get down on the approach. So bear with me guys, I'll be back in around 5 to 10 minutes. Hope you're enjoying the flight so far. Please do hit that like button. Really makes a huge difference to the channel if you can. So thank you to everyone who has already done that. And I'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Enjoy the views. Speak to you in a little bit. Hey guys, so back with you now. Wow, what a view. So, hopefully we've not missed too much. Everything's working nicely. We're going to get in the flight deck and do our arrival brief. So our top of descent, first of all. We're going to start our top of descent about 100 miles away from the Genoa VOR. Which, if we just bring the chart in, is here. And we're getting down to flight level 990. So I'm just actually going to pop that in on the navigation page so we can see that. And that is pretty much where we are already. So, just spent some time going through this. We can see our top of descent has also been calculated for us by the aircraft's VNAV system. So the plan is, we want to be flight level 90 at Genoa. By this point, I want flaps 1 out, so configuring very early for this. So flaps 1 at Genoa. From Genoa then we're coming round into Tiglo, where we'll be descending down to 6,500 feet at Tiglo, and flaps 2 by this point, leaving Tiglo then with flaps 2, getting down to the platform altitude, which is actually 3,370 feet on the ILS. It's an offset ILS, so we need to be visual for the landing, of course. Minimum safe altitude is high around us. As we're coming in, it's going to be 8,300 feet, so it should be a nice view. The minimum set altitude is 879. We're going to put the weather in a moment as well. Missed approach, left turn, max speed 200 knots, so that would be completed in we would complete that in flaps 1 configuration, heading out to the Ixito holding point. Once we've arrived, we're going to vacate in either Delta Charlie or Bravo, backtracking to the main terminal. Mr. Dino, no problem. Look forward to seeing you soon. Right, so it's time to start heading down to 9,000 feet. Max descent 090 blue.
If you could please make sure that all the aisles are clear, the cabin crew are able to make their way around the aircraft without any luggage in the aisles, that would be most appreciated. A reminder for our Easyjet pilot members that free drinks are still available from the cabin crew until the seatbelt signs are turned on. Please note, however, that the toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
So that wind's just got up a little bit now. 030 at 17. Still within our limits, but that is a nice crosswind and a little bit of a tailwind. Barry, no problem, mate. See you very soon. Monitor that profile as we're coming down. Let's turn those on. So that QNH is 1017. Temperature 22. Wind 030 at 17, and minimum descent altitude is 879. Or decision altitude. There we go. It's all set up. 11 o'clock, if top of descent is always too late for you, the best tip I can give you is monitor it yourself. So, I know that I want to be at Genoa at 9,000 feet, so if I pop that into the place bearing distance page, I've got 72 miles to go. And I've got 24,000 feet to lose. So I'm a little bit high, which is exactly what this is telling me. So if we want to just get ourselves back on profile, I'm not quite sure actually why it's slowed right down. We should be at the top of the speed gate here. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wind that up a little bit. Bring us back on profile. We should start to see that intercept getting closer as well as we've sped up our descent. Hey Mark! Someone else who has work calling for them. No problem. Thanks for being on board this morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an Easyjet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
So there you can see the terrain that we're going to have to avoid as we come in on our landing. Always good to avoid terrain. So we're now just, according to the VNAV system, catching up with the profile. Got about 12,000 feet to lose. And 50 miles away, so that's not bad. I think we did the right thing identifying that it was going to leave us too high, because this approach we can't be left high for. It wouldn't work because of the terrain. We need to be configured nice and early, otherwise we're not going to be able to get down in time after crossing the terrain. And because I want to slow down, I want to get really underneath that profile. Not only do I want to have passed green dot, I also want flaps 1 out. Josh, probably now landing time is, it's not long at all. Around 25 minutes. We're on our descent. And this is where the fun begins. We've made the plan, we just need to execute it. Flaps 1 as we leave Genoa, heading down to 6,500 feet. Flaps 2 then as we get down to Tiglo, and then we'll turn onto the ILS.
62 Bravo, descending to flight number 2604, flight 0490 for Genoa approach.
Lachlan, do I only do EasyJet? Occasionally, we do special streams, which are not just EasyJet based. Josh, that's interesting. Speed brakes if you need to slow down. Actually, we wouldn't slow down. If we put the speed brakes out now, would we slow down? Given our current configuration. I'll let you guys answer that. Ironically, I actually want to speed up. Do you know what? I think I'm going to do this in open descent. So I'm just checking this profile. We've got about 30 miles to run to Genoa, and I need to lose 11,000 feet. That doesn't work. We are above the profile. So now we'll get speed brakes out to help with the descent. And Clark and Woz are giving the correct answers there. We're going to target the speed that we've set. So if we throw the speed brakes out, in order to keep that speed up, it would just lower the rate of descent. And that's basically what we've just done now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you could please return to your seats and ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. If you are traveling with an infant, please ensure that they are secured safely using the infant seatbelt harness provided. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Okay, so approach checklist. Our approach briefing has been confirmed. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimums are 879 set. Engine mode selector is normal and EFB is stowed. Genoa traffic easy 34 Alpha Mike, passing flight level 160 for 90. Currently 21 miles north of Genoa VOR, and we'll be approaching via the Tiglo fix for runway 28. Was the
Easyjet is landing at Genoa. Will you also be doing a shortcut?
Depends on which shortcut. We'll be going direct to Genoa and then Tiglo onto the ILS.
Okay, what you're saying for me, I'll keep the eye on you. EC62 Bravo.
Roger, thank you, Easy 3 for Alpha Mike. Yeah, well, so no, the engines won't spool up. The engines will stay at thrust idle, and in order to keep that descent, we will just pitch down and head towards the ground faster. Basically, as you can see, we've increased our rate of descent. So I'm now as well going to activate the approach phase, so that's all done as I'm in selected speed. That's taken care of. Uh, 11 o'clock, yeah, that's why we needed to get below the profile before we got to 10,000 feet. So now we're going to start reducing that speed to 250 knots. So we'll level off there. Keep those speed brakes out. Josh, if we have a go around, That's no issue. We'll not be diverting, we'll just come straight back in. What will be interesting is what happens after we pass Genoa, because I'm not completely convinced on this. We may end up doing it in heading mode. Okay, we're now getting down to flight level 90, which is what we wanted. We can't go any lower than that till passing Genoa. We've got about 4 miles to run. Let's slow down to green dot. It may fix itself as it slows down FV, you're right, we'll just have to keep an eye on it. But basically, we need to go direct to... in fact, that's what we could try doing. We could try going direct Tiglo if it doesn't sort itself out. Okay, speed brakes away. Have we got nice views down here? Yes, we do. Right, where's it going direct to? Is it going direct to Tiglo? According to this, it is. Let's see what happens. I'll try and keep the automation in as long as I can. We're now getting down to 6,500 feet. Flaps 1, speed's checked. Flaps 1. And let's pull the heading. Yeah. Didn't want to work that, did it? So, can I go direct to Tiglo? Oh no, I've actually lost Tiglo on the flight plan. That's okay. We can do it like this. That's fine. Our airport should be down there somewhere.
Genoa traffic EC62 Bravo. Flight level 7060 and speed 200.
Genoa traffic Easy34 Alpha Mike, passing 7,600 for 6,500, inbound Tiglo, speed 190 knots.
Genoa traffic, Lima 8 Alpha November, only vision approach runway 10, Mike 2 to 814.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside.
Here comes the glide slope.
Your table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
EC34 Mike, you said you going to turn at Tiglo, is that correct?
We can start the base turn probably in around 3 miles, Easy34 Alpha Mike. Currently 5 miles from Tiglo.
Roger, thank you for that.
So now we are we're to beam the glide slope, we can begin a right-hand turn and get down to the platform altitude, which is actually 3,370. So let's go ahead and do that. In order to do it, we're going to set flaps 2, and I'm going to pull speed 180 knots. So speed 180, flaps 2, and we'll start a descent down 5,000. I'm going to make it a steady descent as well, 700 feet per minute. I'm the localizer, lock star. We're going to be 4,000 feet at this waypoint just here. And Genoa traffic easy 34 Alpha Mike, establishing now runway 28 at 22 miles to run. Speed 180 knots. Okay. Alt glide slope blue, cat 1, autopilot 1 and 2 engaged. Remember, of course, this is also an offset localizer, so we'll be disconnecting autopilot once we're visual and we can line up and bring her in manually. Nice VMC conditions here today, so we can absolutely make sure we're avoiding terrain. What a gorgeous place to live. Italy, of course, gets the next world update, doesn't it? Clark, it shows Cat 1 because until we pass 5,000 feet, it doesn't go to Cat 3 dual.
EC62, Bravo now localized to 8, and we are 70 miles, 21 miles out of Genoa.
Genoa traffic easy 34 Alpha Mike, established 28, currently 15 miles, speed 180 knots. That tailwind at the moment looks okay, but we can expect that to get a little stronger the lower down we get. Graham, I've never landed here before. I know it is an offset localizer because the chart tells us. Glide slope star. Missed approach altitude is set. Glide slopes captured. Baby, the glide slope should only be captured when it's the right time, yeah? You can use the magenta diamonds to show you when that should happen. 10 miles. And you can see now the direction we're travelling and how the runway's aligned. You can easily see that it's an offset localizer. Hi Synth, good evening. Good morning.
Juno, traffic is 62 Bravo, ILS 28, 15 miles out, 5 miles behind the Easyjet, speed 170.
Right, so we do have traffic behind us. We want to expedite vacating the runway as soon as we get down, really. Horatio, an offset localizer is where the ILS beam that we're following doesn't actually align with the runway. As you can see, it's the runway isn't straight ahead of us, is it? It's there. So it's kind of at an angle.
$2,500.
Radio altimeter alive. Oh guys, if you ever come to land at this airport and the winds are favouring runway 28, make sure you sat on the right hand side. Alright, so 6 miles, let's start getting configured. Gear spoilers. Manage speed. Flaps 3. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin is secured. Auto thrust speed. Go around altitude 3000. Set. ECAM memo. Landing no blue. Autopilot off, I have control. And now here comes the crosswind.
$1,000. 100 above. Minimum.
Continue. Crosswind is getting stronger. Let's just fly into that a little bit more. It's that bright, I can't see the pappies.
500.
15, 14 knot crosswind.
$400.
Genoa traffic is 62 Bravo, 5 mile final.
300. $200.
Those poles look a little close to the landing gear.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
That sounded like a crunch, didn't it? Spoilers deployed, reverse green. Disengage the auto brakes, let's roll off. Genoa traffic runway 22 is vacated.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your Easyjet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or Easyjet app.
Oh, goodness me, where are you going? Oh no. Well, that's different. I bet that's because I try to look while steering. I do hate it when that happens. They need to fix that bug. Is that bug coming out in the next sim update? Daft thing. Yeah, it sounded like a bit of a crunchy landing, that one, didn't it? I've done worse. Interestingly enough, the call down from the Radal wasn't bad at all.
Genoa traffic is 6 to Bravo, cater to 8.
So left here on November. And then we'll just pick a parking stand. This is again freeware scenery from FlightSim.to, so anyone can go and grab this. There's a marshaller there. Shall we aim for him?
Genoa traffic is 6 to Bravo, taxi bay Alpha and Echo 1 to the stands.
Genoa traffic, Easy 162 established on glide slope for runway 28 at 10 miles.
I hope you're also on the localizer. And stop. Beautiful. Parking brake set. Welcome to Genoa. Ah, that was quite a nice approach, that, wasn't it? I say I've not done that one before. Really nice. Let's get that APU bleed air on, and now we can shut down engine 1 and engine 2. Seatbelt signs can come off. That can go away. And beacon lights can come off as well. Let's connect the external power, and we're all done. Lovely, loving this scenery as well at Genoa. Again, FlightSim.to. It is free. Hey, check that out. Do you know what? We might get the drone camera out very quickly and have a look around. But for those of you who have flown with us today, I hope you have enjoyed this this flight. It's something a little bit different. I say, not a real route for EasyJet, or not at the moment. I think they fly there during the busier summer periods. Perhaps not not right now. But what we're going to have to do again in the future, I think. If the winds had been any stronger with the tailwind, we'd have also been looking at doing the oops. TCAS, turn that off. We'd have also been looking at doing the circle to land, which, well, that's even more fun, that, isn't it? Did you not get a touchdown rate? Let me see. What did self-logging cargo say? They probably didn't like that at all. Ooh, 0.8 Gs. Which was, or if you prefer in feet per minute, about 272 feet per minute. I say, we've done worse. We've done much worse. How long is that marshaller guy going to stand there? Right, guys, thank you so much for your company this morning. Hope you Hope you've enjoyed the flight and the stream. If you're on your way out there now, please do give that like button a thumbs up. Help other people find the channel, which would be really appreciated from all of you. If you're new to the channel as well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell. I look forward to seeing you all on the next live, which not sure when that will be, but I hope we'll get another stream in before I head off next week for a week off. Audimans, does landing gearing require inspection? No. It wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad at all. If any of you have landed with that, you can be fairly happy. Alright guys, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Loving this freeway scenery, by the way. Have a great Thursday, everyone. Bye-bye.